The portrait stares back at him with eyes he knows better than his own reflection. Darius Rook stands frozen in the marble hallway, the sealed envelope slipping from his fingers. The woman in the gilded frame wears a crimson dress that hugs curves he once traced in darkness. Her red hair cascades in waves he braided on Sunday mornings. The tiny crescent scar near her left eyebrow, the one from falling off her bike at 7 years old, she'd told him, catches the light exactly as it did when she laughed. His chest tightens. The air smells of lemon polish and wealth, suffocating in its perfection. "Sir?" The maid's voice cuts through the ringing in his ears. "Please place the envelope and leave." He can't move. 3 years ago, he buried this woman. Watched the casket lower into rain-soaked earth while his son Milo clung to his leg, too young to understand permanence. The funeral director had assured him the crash had been quick, painless. A drunk driver on I-5 who'd crossed the median at 70 miles per hour. But here she is, immortalized in oil paint above a console worth more than his annual salary. The brass plaque beneath the frame gleams. Seren Vale, cherished daughter. Enjoying the story? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. "Who is that?" Darius hears himself ask. His voice sounds distant, like it belongs to someone else. The maid, Marisol, her name tag reads, steps between him and the portrait. Her eyes flash with something that looks like recognition. Or warning. "You need to go, now." "That's my wife." The words scrape out of his throat. "I know that face, that scar, everything." Footsteps echo down the corridor. Sharp, measured. The kind that announce authority before the person arrives. She appears like a verdict. Mid-40s, copper-red hair swept into a twist that probably costs what he makes in a week. The charcoal suit fits without a wrinkle. Her wedding ring catches the light, platinum, flawless, cold. But her eyes, they're the same shade of green as the woman in the portrait, as Talia's. "You're not from the courier service," she says. Not a question, an accusation. "I'm the janitor, from Barron Tower." Darius's hand rises, pointing at the portrait like it's evidence in a trial he didn't know he was standing in. "That's my wife, Talia Rook. I buried her 3 years ago." The woman's composure cracks for half a heartbeat. Her jaw sets. "You're mistaken." "I'm not." Heat floods his chest. "I know that scar. I know the way her left eyebrow sits higher than her right. I know she hated the smell of mint but loved spearmint. I know everything about her." Marisol backs toward the wall, tension rolling off her in waves. The woman in the suit studies him the way a surgeon examines a patient before cutting. "What did you say her name was?" "Talia. Talia Rook." His throat closes around the syllables. "She died in a car accident. August 14th, 3 years ago. I watched them close the casket." The silence stretches. Somewhere in the mansion, a clock ticks. The woman's hands tremble before she clasps them behind her back. When she speaks, her voice is quieter, dangerous. "That portrait is my sister. She didn't die. She disappeared 12 years ago, and I've been searching for her ever since." The floor tilts beneath Darius's feet. "No," he shakes his head. "That's impossible." "It's not." She takes a step closer and he sees the grief carved into the lines beside her mouth, the sleepless nights etched beneath her eyes. "Her name is Seren. She left because our family, because our mother, tried to control every breath she took. I thought she hated us. I thought she chose to vanish." Darius looks at her hair, the same shade of red, the bone structure, the way she holds herself like she's learned to armor every vulnerable part. "Then who did I marry?" The question comes out as a whisper. She presses her palm flat against the console, steadying herself. I'm Leora Vale. And if you're telling the truth, my sister spent years living as someone else. With you. Security appears at the far end of the hallway. Two men in dark suits, hands near their belts. Leora raises one hand without looking at them. They stop. Marisol, she says, voice shifting back to steel. Bring tea to the blue room. Then she turns to Darius. Come with me. Every instinct screams at him to run, to grab the envelope, sprint to his car, drive back to the two-bedroom apartment where Milo waits for their midnight pancake tradition, to pretend this mansion and this woman and this impossible portrait don't exist. But a bigger force roots him in place, the need to know, the right of his son to understand where he came from, the ghost of a wife who maybe wasn't a ghost at all. Why should I trust you? He asks. Leora meets his eyes. Because you loved her, and so did I. She walks toward a doorway, not checking if he follows. Darius looks back at the portrait one last time. Talia, serene, stares down at him with painted eyes that hold secrets he never knew existed. His phone buzzes in his pocket, a text from his neighbor. Milo's asking when you're coming home. He should leave. He should protect his son from whatever this is. But the woman he buried had a different name, a different life, and someone in this mansion might know why she died. Darius follows Leora into the blue room, and the door closes behind them with a sound like a lock engaging. What secret was Talia running from? Drop your theories in the comments. The blue room drowns in money. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Seattle like the city exists to be owned. A fireplace sits empty, its marble mantle probably worth more than Darius's car. The furniture looks uncomfortable on purpose, the kind designed to remind visitors they don't belong. Leora stands with her back to him, staring out at the lights below. Her reflection in the glass shows a face fighting to stay composed. Our mother was Celeste Vale. She says the name like it tastes bitter. She built an empire buying failing companies and gutting them for profit. Real estate, private equity. She treated people like assets on a spreadsheet. Darius remains near the door, muscles coiled. What does that have to do with my wife? Everything. Leora turns. Seren was 22 when she met someone, a construction worker named Marcus. She wanted to marry him. Our mother said no. Said the Vale name didn't mix with working-class blood. The words land like punches. Darius thinks of his janitor uniform hanging in his locker. The way security guards at fancy buildings sometimes look through him like he's furniture. Seren refused. Leora's voice cracks. So our mother arranged an engagement to a business partner's son, drew up contracts, planned the wedding before Seren even agreed. And she ran. The night before the lawyers were going to make it legal, she emptied a trust fund account and disappeared. Leora's hands curl into fists. I woke up to find her room stripped bare. No note, no goodbye, just gone. Darius hears the grief underneath the anger. It sounds like his own. I thought she hated me for not protecting her, Leora whispers. For years, I thought she blamed me for being too weak to stand up to our mother. You were her sister, Darius says quietly, not her savior. Leora looks at him like those words cost something. Our mother died last year, cancer, before I could ever ask if she knew where Seren went, before I could tell Seren she was finally free. Marisol enters with a silver tray, tea service that probably has a pedigree. She sets it down without meeting anyone's eyes and leaves fast. Darius doesn't touch the tea. You said you've been searching. Private investigators, database searches, every lead turned cold. Leora pours herself a cup with shaking hands. Until you walked into my hallway and said her name. Talia, Darius corrects. Her name was Talia. To you, maybe. Leora sets the cup down untouched. But she was born Seren Elisabeth Vale, and if she married you, she must have loved you enough to risk being found. The weight of that settles on Darius's chest. He thinks of Talia's insistence on paying cash for everything, the way she never wanted photos on social media, how she'd flinch when black SUVs drove past their apartment. He'd thought it was trauma from her supposed time in foster care. Now it looks like survival. I have a son, he says suddenly. Milo, he's 8. He asks about his mother every day. Leora's face goes pale. She grips the back of a chair. She had a child. Yeah, and he deserves to know the truth about where he comes from. Darius takes a step forward. But I'm not letting your family swallow him. Whatever this is, this world of yours, it killed her once already. I don't want to take anything from you. Leora's voice breaks. I just need to know if the woman you loved is really my sister. How? DNA test. Darius says it before she can. Between you and Milo. If you're related, the results will prove it. Leora nods immediately. Done. Private lab. Your home. Your terms. You control everything. He studies her face for manipulation, for the trap. But all he sees is a woman who's been carrying the same kind of grief he has. The kind that makes you wonder if you could have changed everything with one different choice. If the test comes back positive, he says slowly, what happens to my son? Leora meets his eyes. He stays with you, always. I just want to know him, to tell him about his mother before she had to become someone else. And if your family has other ideas? Her jaw sets. Then they'll deal with me. Darius wants to believe her, wants to trust that money and power don't always corrupt. But he's seen too many eviction notices, too many payday lenders who smile while they trap you, too many people who use help as a leash.
I'll think about it, he says. Leora's shoulders drop. That's all I'm asking. He moves toward the door, then stops. The crash that killed her. Did your family have anything to do with it? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Leora's face goes carefully blank. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Darius leaves before she can say anything else. Marisol waits in the hallway, her expression unreadable. As he passes, she leans close. Be careful. This house eats people. He doesn't look back. Outside, his Corolla looks beaten compared to the mansion's gleaming gate. He sits behind the wheel, hands shaking, and checks his phone. 15 missed calls from his neighbor. He dials. Darius, thank God. Mrs. Chen's voice is relief and worry. Milo won't sleep. He's asking if you forgot about pancakes. Guilt stabs through him. Tell him I'm on my way. 10 minutes. He hangs up and stares at the mansion through his rearview mirror. Somewhere in there, a portrait of his dead wife watches an empty hallway under a name he never knew. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer. Then he does. Mr. Rook. A man's voice, smooth, polite, wrong. You should know that digging into certain families can be dangerous. The line goes dead before Darius can respond. Who's watching Darius? Comment your suspicions below. The DNA kit arrives on a Tuesday morning, delivered by a woman in scrubs who looks like she's done this 100 times. No company name on her van. No paperwork beyond a consent form Darius reads 3 times before signing. Milo thinks it's hilarious. He opens his mouth wide while the nurse swabs his cheek, making dinosaur sounds that echo through their small apartment. Am I sick?
he asks after she leaves. No, buddy. Darius kneels to his level. Just a test. Nothing to worry about. But worry lives in his chest like a stone. That phone call. The smooth threat wrapped in politeness. He's been checking the locks twice before bed, looking over his shoulder on the walk to the bus stop. Milo watches cartoons while Darius cleans the breakfast dishes. The apartment is small but clean. 2 bedrooms, a kitchen that barely fits a table, walls thin enough to hear the neighbors argue. It's the kind of place you live in when you're one missed paycheck from disaster. Talia used to make it feel bigger. Her laugh filled corners. Her cooking made the cramped kitchen smell like home. Now it's just him and Milo and the echo of what used to be. His phone rings. Leora's name on the screen. He steps into his bedroom before answering. Yeah? How's Milo? Not a business question. Genuine. Fine. Thinks the swab was a game. Good. A pause. I know this is a lot. I wanted to check in. Darius sits on the edge of his bed, staring at the photo on his nightstand. Talia smiling in the rain, Milo a toddler in her arms. Why do you care? Because if he's my nephew, he's all I have left of her. Her voice catches. And if you're the man she chose, then maybe you're the family she wanted all along. Something in his chest loosens. Not trust, not yet, but something close to understanding. What was she like? He asks. Before. Leora goes quiet. Then, stubborn, funny. She used to sneak into the kitchen at 2 a.m. and make these elaborate desserts just because she was bored. She'd leave them on the counter with notes like, "For whoever finds this first." I'd wake up to chocolate cake and her laughter. Darius smiles despite himself. She did that with me. Midnight pancakes. Said the best food happens when everyone else is asleep. That's her. Leora's crying. He can hear it. They stay on the line, breathing in tandem grief, until Milo calls for him. I have to go, Darius says. Okay. I'll call when the results come in. She hangs up. Over the next 3 days, packages arrive. A box of astronomy books, a telescope, a toy rocket ship that Milo assembles with the kind of focus Darius hasn't seen since Talia died. Who sent these? Milo asks, his voice bright. A friend, Darius says carefully. A friend who knows I like space? Yeah. Milo grins, and for a moment he looks exactly like his mother. The same joy, the same way happiness used to light her from the inside. But the gifts make Darius uneasy. Money never comes without strings. He knows this from every eviction threat, every predatory loan offer. Rich people don't give. They invest. And they always expect a return. On Thursday night, his shift ends late. He's mopping the 5th floor of Barron Tower when his phone buzzes. A text from Mrs. Chen. Someone was at your door earlier. Wouldn't say who. Left when I asked if I could help. Ice runs down his spine. He calls her immediately. Did you see what they looked like? Tall, white guy, expensive suit. He knocked for a while, then looked through your window before leaving. Darius's heart slams against his ribs. Did Milo see him? No, baby. He was at my place. You want me to call the cops? No. He forces calm into his voice. Just keep him inside tonight. I'll be home soon. He finishes his shift in record time, driving too fast through red lights he usually respects. When he pulls up to his building, the lights in his apartment are on. Mrs. Chen's been keeping Milo safe. But his window, the one facing the street, has a smudge mark on the glass. Like someone pressed their face close to look inside. He checks every lock twice, pulls the blinds, moves the deadbolt that barely works but makes him feel better anyway. Milo's already asleep in Mrs. Chen's apartment. Darius carries him back, tucking him into bed with the toy rocket on the nightstand. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. He stares at it. Doesn't answer. It buzzes again. This time, he picks up. Mr. Rook. The same smooth voice from before. You should reconsider your new friendship. Some families protect their legacy, aggressively. Who is this? Someone who knows what's best for everyone involved. Stay away from my son. A pause. Then, that's entirely up to you. The line goes dead. Darius sits in the dark, his son breathing softly in the next room, and realizes he's entered a war he doesn't know how to fight. His phone buzzes one more time. Not a call. A text from Leora. DNA results tomorrow. Whatever they say, I'm here. He doesn't respond. Outside, a black SUV idles at the curb for 10 minutes before driving away. Someone's watching. Who do you think it is? Drop your guesses below. The man in Darius's doorway wears money like armor. Tailored navy suit, shoes polished to a mirror shine, hair swept back in that effortless way that requires expensive product and monthly appointments. He smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. Mr. Rook, may I come in? Darius blocks the doorway with his body. Behind him, Milo's door is closed. Cartoon sounds bleed through the walls. Who are you? Bren Cade. He extends a hand. Darius doesn't take it. I'm engaged to Leora Vale. I thought we should meet. Every muscle in Darius's body tightens. She didn't mention you. No, I imagine she wouldn't. Bren lowers his hand, unfazed. May I? This is a conversation best had privately. We're private enough. Bren glances down the hallway where Mrs. Chen's door is cracked open. She's watching. Always watching. Bren's smile sharpens. Very well. He reaches into his jacket. Darius's hand instinctively moves to shield Milo's door and pulls out a leather folder. I'm not here to threaten you, Mr. Rook. I'm here to offer clarity. He opens the folder. Inside are documents. Legal jargon Darius can't parse at a glance. Leora's company is finalizing a merger. Vale Industries combined with Cade Holdings. The largest private equity consolidation on the West Coast this year. Good for you. The Vale name is the asset. Bren's voice stays pleasant, controlled. It carries weight, legacy, trust, all things the market values. And a missing heir who secretly married a janitor and had a child? Bren tilts his head. That's not a fairy tale. That's a scandal. The kind that collapses stock prices and destroys decades of reputation building. Heat floods Darius's chest. I don't care about your merger. You will. Bren closes the folder. Because certain people, shareholders, board members, family attorneys, will decide your son is a complication that needs managing. The word lands like a blade. Managing. Custody battles, financial audits, anonymous calls to Child Protective Services about an unfit single father. Bren's tone never changes. Still pleasant, still deadly. I've seen it done. Very effectively. Darius steps forward. They're the same height, but Bren doesn't flinch. You threatening my kid? I'm advising you. Bren tucks the folder back into his jacket. Walk away from Leora. Refuse the DNA test results. Raise your son quietly. And no one needs to examine how a janitor affords his current lifestyle. I work 2 jobs. Do you? Bren's eyebrows rise. Because I see a man who's about to claim connection to a billionaire family. That's motive. That's fraud. That's the kind of thing that gets children removed from unstable homes. Rage burns through Darius's vision. He wants to grab this man by his expensive collar and throw him down the stairs. Wants to show him what happens when you threaten a father's child. But he knows men like Bren. Knows that violence is exactly what they want. The kind of mistake that proves their point. So he breathes, counts to 3. Get out. Bren smiles wider. I'll leave my card, in case you reconsider. He places a business card on the doorframe ledge. Then he walks away, shoes clicking on the linoleum, whistling something classical that Darius doesn't recognize. The door to Mrs. Chen's apartment opens fully. You okay, baby? Yeah. He's not. Thanks for watching out. He closes his door, locks it, then slides down to sit with his back against the wood, head in his hands. Milo's door opens. His son stands there in dinosaur pajamas, clutching the toy rocket. Dad? Who was that? No one, buddy. Just a salesman. He sounded mean. He's gone now. Milo climbs into his lap. Too big for this, really, but Darius holds him anyway. His son smells like strawberry shampoo and childhood. The weight of him is the only real thing in the world. I'm scared, Milo whispers. Of what? That you'll leave like Mom did. Darius's throat closes. He pulls his son tighter. Never. You hear me? Never. They sit there until Milo falls asleep. Darius carries him back to bed, tucks him in, and stands in the doorway watching him breathe. Then he calls Leora. She answers on the first ring. Darius? Did you send your fiancé to my apartment? Silence. What? Bren Cade. Showed up at my door, threatened to take my son if I don't walk away. He hears her breath catch, hears something crash in the background. He did what? You didn't know? I would never... Her voice shakes with fury. I'll handle this. I swear to you, I didn't send him. You're marrying him. The pause stretches. I'm starting to realize, she says slowly, that I'm repeating my mother's mistakes, choosing power over people. Then choose different. Another pause, longer. The DNA results came back. Darius's heart stops. And? 99.9% match. Her voice breaks. Milo is my nephew. Seren was your wife. Everything you said is true. The apartment spins. He sits on the couch before his legs give out. Darius? Leora's crying now. I'm so sorry. For everything she went through. For everything you've lost. I'm so sorry. He can't speak. I'll protect him, she says. I swear on her memory, I will protect both of you. How? His voice sounds hollow. Your fiancé just told me he'd destroy my life. Then I'll destroy him first. The line goes dead. Darius sits in the dark apartment, his son asleep in the next room, and realizes his wife didn't only leave a past behind. She left a warning. A map of the dangers she'd been running from. And now that danger knows his name, knows his address, knows his son. He opens his phone and scrolls to the photo album labeled Talia. Pictures of her laughing, her holding Milo as a newborn, her in the kitchen making midnight pancakes. He stops on one he doesn't remember taking. She's looking over her shoulder at the camera, eyes wide, almost fearful. In the background, through the window, a black SUV is parked across the street. The photo is dated 4 months before she died. Was Talia's death really an accident? Drop your theories below. The key is small, silver, taped to the inside cover of a cookbook Talia never used because she cooked from memory, not recipes. Darius finds it at 2 in the morning, unable to sleep, pulling apart boxes he hasn't touched since the funeral. The tape is yellowed. The cookbook, Classic American Desserts, has never been opened except for this purpose. Next to the key, written in Talia's handwriting, Tacoma Credit Union, Box 447. His hands shake. Milo sleeps in the next room. The apartment is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and his own breathing. He's scared of what he'll find. More scared of not knowing. He takes the key. The credit union is 40 minutes south. He drops Milo at Mrs. Chen's before dawn, telling her he has an early shift. She doesn't ask questions. Never does. The building is small, old brick, the kind of place that survived the digital banking boom by serving people who don't trust apps. A teller leads him to the vault, checks his ID twice, matches the key to the box number. "Take your time," she says, and leaves. The box is small. Darius's hands tremble as he lifts the lid. Inside, a passport. The photo is Talia's face, but the name reads Seren Elisabeth Vale. The birth date matches what Leora told him. The place of birth? Seattle, Washington. Beneath the passport, a journal, leather-bound. The pages are filled with Talia's handwriting, small, precise, the way she used to make grocery lists. And beneath the journal, a sealed envelope. His name on the front. Darius sits in the tiny room, walls closing in, and opens the envelope with shaking hands. The letter is dated 3 weeks before the crash. "Darius, if you're reading this, something went wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying about who I was. I'm sorry for making you love a ghost. But I need you to know, everything I felt for you was real. Milo was real. Our life was real. I ran from my family because they tried to own me. My mother wanted me married to a man who saw women as contracts. When I refused, she had lawyers draw up papers that would have trapped me legally. So I left, took cash from a trust fund and disappeared. For 12 years, I was free. I was Talia. I was yours. Then someone found me. 3 months ago, a man approached me outside Milo's school. He knew my real name, knew my mother. Said the family wanted to reconnect. I told him I wasn't interested. He said it wasn't a request. I've been followed ever since. Black SUVs, strange cars parked outside our building, phone calls where no one speaks but I know someone's listening. I plan to tell you everything. Tonight, actually. I have it all written out. My real name, my family, why I left. But I'm scared. Scared of what they'll do if they find Milo. Scared they'll take him to punish me for leaving. If something happens to me, trust Marisol. She's the maid at my family's house. She's the one who helped me escape 12 years ago. She knows what they did to me and why I ran. Protect our son. Don't let them turn him into what they tried to make me. I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. T. The paper crumples in his fist. Tears blur his vision. The crash. The drunk driver who crossed the median. The police report that said it was random. Random. Darius reads the letter again. Then again. 3 months before the crash, someone approached her. 3 months of being followed. 3 months of fear. And then a convenient accident on a highway known for good visibility. His phone rings. Unknown number. He stares at it, lets it ring twice more before answering. Mr. Rook. Not the smooth voice from before. This one is different, mechanical, disguised. Stop digging into the Vale family. You don't know what you're waking up. Who is this? Someone who knows what happened to your wife, and what will happen to your son if you don't walk away. The line goes dead. Darius drops the phone. His vision tunnels. The walls press in. He can't breathe. Talia knew. She knew they were coming. She tried to warn him, and he'd spent 3 years believing it was an accident. He grabs the journal and flips through pages. Dates, names, notes about cars following her, descriptions of men in suits, a list of times she'd noticed the same vehicles outside Milo's daycare. On the last page, underlined 3 times, they will not stop until they control everything. Darius's hands won't stop shaking. He takes photos of every page with his phone, puts the journal and passport back in the box, keeps the letter. The teller gives him a strange look when he leaves. "Everything okay, sir?" "Fine." He's not. "Can I add someone to the access list, in case something happens to me?" She nods. He writes down Leora's name. If they come for him, at least someone will know where to look. Outside, the morning sun is too bright. People walk past like the world is normal, like fathers don't find evidence that their wives were murdered. He drives back to Seattle in a daze, pulls over twice because his hands shake too hard to steer. At Mrs. Chen's, Milo runs to him with the toy rocket. "Look, Dad, I figured out how to make the lights work." Darius kneels and holds his son, breathes in the strawberry shampoo, the innocence. "I love you, buddy. I love you too." Milo pulls back, frowning. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, just tired." "Mrs. Chen made pancakes. You want some?" "In a minute." He stands in her doorway, watching his son play, and realizes he's been fighting the wrong battle. He thought this was about proving a connection to Talia's family, but it's about survival. And somewhere out there, someone who killed his wife is watching his apartment, waiting to see what he does next. The shadow moves across his living room wall at 3 in the morning. Darius is awake because sleep stopped being possible 2 days ago. He sits on the couch in darkness, Talia's letter folded in his pocket, watching the street through a crack in the blinds. The shadow doesn't belong to a tree. It's human-shaped, moving deliberately along the side of his building. His phone is already in his hand. He dials Leora. She answers before the first ring finishes. "What's wrong?" "Someone's outside my apartment." His voice is barely a whisper. "Right now." "I'm sending security. Don't open the door." "Milo's here." "I know. Stay on the line with me." He moves to Milo's door. His son sleeps curled around the toy rocket, mouth open, dreaming of stars. Darius stands between the door and the hallway. If someone comes through, they'll have to go through him first. The shadow disappears. Footsteps retreat down the stairs. An engine starts in the distance. "They're gone," he says. "Security will be there in 4 minutes." Leora's voice is steel, wrapped in urgency. "Pack a bag. You're not staying there tonight." "I'm not running." "You're not running. You're surviving." A pause. "Please, for Milo." He looks at his son, at the dinosaur pajamas, at the childhood that should be protected from men in shadows and threats disguised as business deals. "Where?" "My place, guest house, separate entrance, security cameras, gates." Every instinct screams against accepting help from people who exist in mansions. But pride is a luxury he can't afford when someone is watching his apartment at 3 in the morning. "Okay." He packs while staying on the line with her. Clothes for 3 days. Milo's favorite books. The toy rocket. Talia's letter stays in his pocket. Mrs. Chen appears in her doorway as he's loading his car. She's in a robe, hair in curlers, eyes sharp. "Where you going, baby?" "Somewhere safe, just for a few days." She studies his face. "This about that man who came by?" "Yeah." She hands him a container of something that smells like ginger and garlic. "Take this, and you call me if you need anything. I mean it." He hugs her. She pats his back twice, the only affection she ever shows. Security arrives as he's buckling Milo into the car. 2 men in dark clothes. One sweeps the building perimeter. The other checks his car for tracking devices. They find one under the rear bumper. Darius's stomach drops. How long has that been there? Hard to say. Weeks, maybe. They remove it, crush it under a boot heel. The drive to Leora's takes 30 minutes. Milo wakes up halfway there, confused. Where are we going? A friend's house. You'll like it. It has a big yard. The space lady? Despite everything, Darius smiles. Yeah, the space lady. The gates open before he arrives. Security waves him through. The guest house is smaller than the main mansion, but still bigger than his apartment. 2 bedrooms. A kitchen with appliances that look unused. Windows that overlook gardens lit by soft ground lights. Leora meets him at the door. No suit, jeans and a sweater, hair down. She looks younger, more like the woman in the portrait. Thank you, Darius says. Don't thank me yet. She kneels to Milo's level. Hi, I'm Leora. You must be Milo. His son hides behind Darius's leg, shy in the way he gets around strangers. I heard you like space, she says gently. There's a telescope on the back porch. Maybe tomorrow we can look at stars. Milo peeks out. A real one? A real one. His face lights up. Leora shows them to their rooms. Milo falls asleep immediately in a bed that's too soft. Darius stands in the doorway watching him, afraid to close his eyes. Coffee? Leora asks from behind him. They sit in the kitchen. She pours 2 cups. Neither of them drinks. I found something, Darius says. He pulls out his phone and shows her the photos of the journal. She kept a record. Everyone who followed her. Every time she noticed the same car. Names of men who approached her. Leora scrolls through the images, her face going paler with each one. These dates. This was months before she died. 3 months. He swallows. Someone from your family found her, and 3 months later she's dead in a car crash. It wasn't random. No. Leora sets the phone down. Her hands shake. My mother died last year, but her people, the ones who did the things she was too smart to do herself, they're still around. Like who? There was a man, Garrett something. He handled problems, made things disappear. I thought he retired when she got sick. You need to find him. I've been trying. She looks at him with red-rimmed eyes. I went through her files, old phone records, bank statements. I found payments to a shell company, thousands of dollars every month for years. The payments stopped the month she died. What was the company? It doesn't exist anymore. Dissolved the same day her will was read. Darius feels the pieces clicking together. A mother who controlled everything. A fixer who made problems disappear. A daughter who ran and was found and died conveniently before she could expose anything. Your fiancé, he says slowly. Does he know about this? Leora's jaw tightens. Bren was her golden boy. She loved him more than her own children, groomed him to take over the business side while I handled the public face. You think he's involved? I think he benefits from Seren staying dead and buried. She meets his eyes. And I think he sees Milo as a threat to everything he's built. The coffee goes cold between them. I'm calling off the engagement, she says suddenly. Don't make decisions because of us. I'm making decisions because I'm tired of becoming her. Leora's voice cracks. Seren left to escape this, and I stayed. I let her turn me into a version of herself. I chose power over people. I chose money over family. You didn't know. I should have. Tears run down her face. I should have protected her. I should have helped her run. Instead, I let her disappear and told myself she hated me so I wouldn't have to feel guilty. Darius reaches across the table, takes her hand. It's the first time he's touched her. She didn't hate you, he says. She missed you. She told me once that she wished she had a sister. I thought she meant figuratively. Now I know she meant you. Leora breaks, sobs into her hands. Darius sits with her until the tears stop. I found strange financial records, she says when she can speak again. Transactions from an account my mother controlled. Large withdrawals 3 months before Seren died. And one final payment 2 weeks after the crash. Payment for what? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. They sit in the kitchen as dawn breaks. Outside, security patrols the grounds. Inside, Milo sleeps safe for the first time in days. But safety is temporary. Darius knows this. Knows that men who kill don't stop because you change houses. His phone buzzes. Text message. Unknown number. He opens it. A photo of his apartment building. Time-stamped 20 minutes ago. The message beneath reads, "You can't hide forever. Who's hunting them? Drop your theories below and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next." The envelope arrives at noon, delivered by courier to the guest house. Darius signs for it with hands that won't stop shaking. Inside, the official DNA test results. Clinical language that confirms what his heart already knew. Probability of biological relationship? 99.9%. He sits on the porch, paper trembling in his grip. Milo is inside with Leora, learning constellations through the telescope. Their laughter drifts through the open window. His son has an aunt, a family, a history that extends beyond the 2-bedroom apartment and midnight pancakes. But history comes with teeth. Leora finds him 20 minutes later. She reads the results without speaking, then folds the paper carefully and hands it back. "He's my nephew," she whispers. "She really had a child. I'm someone's aunt." The joy in her voice breaks something in Darius's chest. This is what grief looks like when it transforms into hope. "Does this change anything?" he asks. "Everything." She sits beside him. "And nothing. He's still your son. You're still his father. I get to know him now, if you'll let me. He needs family. So do you." They watch Milo through the window. He's pointing at something in the telescope, animated in the way only 8-year-olds can be when they discover something that makes the universe bigger. Darius's phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer. Then he does, because ignoring threats doesn't make them disappear. "Mr. Rook?" Bren's voice, smooth as glass, sharp as the edge. "I heard you've moved into my fiancé's guest house. How cozy. What do you want?" "I want to make you an offer. $1 million. Cash. Deposited into any account you choose." Darius goes cold. "For what?" "Your son. Sign over guardianship to Leora. Walk away. Never contact the family again." "He's not for sale." "Everyone's for sale, Mr. Rook. It's just a matter of price." Bren's tone never changes. Pleasant. Controlled. "Think about what that money could do. College fund. A real house. Security for the rest of your life." "He's my son. He's a Vale, and Vales belong with Vales." A pause. "Leora won't fight me on this. She knows what's best for the family business." "You don't know her as well as you think." Bren laughs. "I know she's sentimental right now, playing aunt. But when the board threatens to pull funding over this scandal, she'll remember where her priorities lie." "Try it." Darius's voice is ice. Come for my son. See what happens. Oh, I will. But I'll do it legally. Custody evaluations, home inspections, financial audits. Bryn's smile is audible. And when they see a single father working 2 minimum wage jobs versus a billionaire family offering stability, wealth, and opportunity, who do you think wins? The line goes dead. Darius sits frozen. The threat isn't empty. Courts favor stability, money, opportunity. Everything he can't provide on a janitor's salary. Leora appears in the doorway. Who was that? Your fiancé. He just offered me $1 million for Milo. Her face goes white, then red. She pulls out her phone and dials with shaking hands. Bryn, we're done. The engagement is off. Don't call me again. She hangs up before he can respond. You didn't have to do that, Darius says. Yes, I did. She looks at him with steel in her eyes. I'm not marrying a man who tries to buy children. He'll fight you. Let him. I'll destroy him first. But that night, the lawyers come. 3 of them in matching suits. They arrive at the main house with briefcases and official documents. Leora meets them in the blue room. Darius watches from the guest house window. She emerges an hour later, face pale. They're petitioning for guardianship, she says, claiming you're an unfit parent, that Milo would benefit from a stable home with proper resources. That's ridiculous. It's strategic. She hands him the papers. Legal jargon that translates to one thing: war. They've scheduled a home evaluation for your apartment, financial audits, background checks. I've done nothing wrong. They don't need you to be wrong. They just need you to be poor. The words hit like bullets, because she's right. He's loved his son with everything he has, worked 2 jobs, kept him safe. But none of that matters to men who measure worth in bank statements. How do I fight this? His voice cracks. You don't. We do. Leora sits beside him. I have lawyers, resources. I'll fight them every step. Why? Because Seren chose you, and she was smarter than all of us. She takes his hand. And because Milo deserves to stay with the father who loves him more than any amount of money. That night, Darius can't sleep. He walks the grounds, security trailing at a distance. The city glows below the hill, 1,000 lights hiding 1,000 lives. He thinks about Talia, how she ran from this world, how she chose poverty over control, how she loved him despite, or because of, the fact that he had nothing to offer but himself. He finds Leora on the patio, staring at the same city. She holds a glass of wine she's not drinking. I found something else, she says. In my mother's files, a name, Garrett Hayes. He was her fixer, the man who made problems disappear. You said you couldn't find him. I couldn't, until I checked property records under shell companies. She shows him her phone. An address in Tacoma. He owns a house under a corporation that doesn't exist on paper, but the utility bills are in his name. You think he knows what happened to Talia? I think he made it happen. Darius's blood runs hot. Then we go there, now. Not we, me, she stands. You stay here with Milo. I'll bring security. She was my wife, and he'll expect that. He'll expect anger, violence. Leora meets his eyes. He won't expect a Vale asking questions. She leaves before he can argue. Darius returns to the guest house, checks on Milo, still asleep, still safe. Then he sits in the dark, waiting. His phone buzzes 2 hours later. A photo from Leora. An old man, 70s, gray hair, cold eyes. The text beneath reads, "Found him. He's talking. You need to hear this." Then another text, audio file, 3 minutes long. Darius plugs in headphones and plays it. Garrett's voice is rough, unapologetic. The girl was a problem. Celeste said so. She had evidence, letters, proof of things that would have buried the company. So Celeste ordered a clean removal. I arranged the accident, made it look random. Drunk driver was easy to pay off. Leora's voice, cold as death. You killed my sister. I did my job, protected the family, same as always. She had a child. A pause. I didn't know that. Would it have mattered? Longer pause. No. The audio cuts off. Darius sits in darkness, the truth settling like glass in his lungs. Talia didn't die in an accident. She was murdered, erased, because she threatened the wrong people. His phone rings. Leora. I'm bringing him to the authorities, she says. I have his confession recorded. It's over. What about Bren? Garrett says Bren knew, was there when Celeste ordered it. He helped coordinate the timing. Rage floods through Darius's veins. Where is he? I don't know, but A crash. Glass shattering. Leora screams. The line goes dead. What happened to Leora? Comment below and subscribe. The final chapters are coming. Darius is already running when security arrives at the guest house. Main house, now. He doesn't wait for permission. They sprint across the grounds. Lights blaze in every window. The front door hangs open. Glass from a shattered vase litters the marble floor. Leora! Darius's voice echoes through the hallway. No response. Security fans out, checking rooms, calling her name. Darius follows the trail. Overturned chair, a shoe left behind, drag marks on the polished floor. They lead to the garage. Empty. Her car is gone. Check the cameras, Darius orders. He doesn't care that they're not his to command. The head of security pulls up footage on a tablet. They watch as Leora's car peels out of the driveway at high speed. A second car follows close behind. Black SUV, no plates visible. That's not her driving, the guard says. Too erratic. Darius's chest tightens. Someone took her. His phone buzzes. Unknown number, video file. He opens it with shaking hands. Leora sits in a chair, hands bound behind her, tape across her mouth, blood running from a cut above her eye. The room around her is concrete, empty, could be anywhere. Bren's face appears in frame, smiling, calm. Hello, Darius. By now you've realized your friend is missing. He touches Leora's shoulder. She flinches. She's been asking questions, causing problems, making threats she can't back up. He leans closer to the camera. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to sign guardianship papers for Milo. You're going to walk away. And in exchange, Leora goes home unharmed. Leora makes muffled sounds behind the tape, struggling. You have 6 hours to decide. After that, well, Bren shrugs. Accidents happen. Just ask your wife. The video ends. Darius's vision tunnels. Rage and fear war in his chest. He wants to throw the phone, scream, tear this mansion apart with his hands. Instead, he breathes, counts to 3, thinks. Can you trace the video? He asks security. Already on it. But if he's smart, he's stripped the metadata. He's not smart. He's arrogant. Darius rewinds the footage, pauses on the background. Concrete walls, metal shelving, a small window high on the wall. That's a basement. Industrial. Look at the shelving. Those are chemical storage units. One guard leans in. Could be a warehouse or an old factory. Vale Industries owns property all over the city, another adds. Dozens of buildings. Check the ones scheduled for demolition, Darius says. Places where screaming wouldn't matter, where no one checks anymore. They work fast, pulling up property records, cross-referencing with scheduled teardowns. 3 locations match. Split up, the head guard orders. Check all 3. I'm coming, Darius says. Sir, with respect. She's there because of me. I'm coming. They don't argue. Darius runs back to the guest house, tells Mrs. Chen, who he called an hour ago when everything went wrong, to stay with Milo, to not open the door for anyone. She grips his arm. You bring that girl home safe. I will. The first location is a bust, empty warehouse, no signs of entry. They move to the second, also empty. The third is on the edge of the industrial district. Chain link fence, no trespassing signs. The building is concrete, 3 stories, windows boarded up. But fresh tire tracks lead through the fence. That's it, Darius whispers. Security moves in formation. Darius follows close behind. They enter through a side door. The inside smells of rust and chemicals. Footsteps echo on concrete. They find the basement. The door is locked from the outside. 2 guards break it down. Leora is in the center of the room, still tied, still gagged, alone. Darius runs to her, cuts the zip ties with a knife the guard hands him, pulls the tape from her mouth. She gasps. It's a trap! The door slams shut behind them. Locks click, automatic. Bren's voice comes through a speaker mounted in the corner. Predictable, Darius. I knew you'd come. Lights flood the room, blinding. When Darius's vision clears, he sees them. Canisters mounted on the walls, red lights blinking. Those are incendiary devices, Bren continues. Remotely triggered. In about 3 minutes, this room becomes an oven, and all evidence of our little disagreement burns with you. You won't get away with this, Leora shouts. Oh, I will. Tragic accident. 3 people dead in an abandoned building. Investigators will assume squatters. Drug deal gone wrong. No one will connect it to me. Darius scans the room. 1 window, high up, covered by bars. 2 minutes. The window, he says to security. Can we break through? The bars are welded. Then unweld them. 1 guard pulls out a multi-tool, starts working on the welds. It's slow, too slow. Darius looks at Leora. Her face is bruised, but her eyes are sharp. You have your phone? She nods, pulls it from her pocket. Call the fire department. Tell them there's a gas leak. Give them this address. She dials, explains, stays calm even as the red lights blink faster. 1 minute. The guard gets 2 bars loose. Not enough. We're not going to make it, Leora whispers. Yes, we are. Darius grabs a metal shelf. Help me. Together, they ram the shelf into the window. Glass shatters. The remaining bars bend, but don't break. 30 seconds. They ram again. The bars give. Just enough. Go! Darius lifts Leora. She squeezes through, falls 6 feet to the ground outside. 1 guard follows, then the other. Darius! Leora screams. Now! He jumps, pulls himself through. His shirt catches, rips. He tumbles to the ground just as the room explodes behind them. Heat scorches his back. The blast throws them forward. Ears ringing, smoke fills the air. They run, stumbling, coughing. The building collapses behind them with a roar. Fire trucks arrive minutes later. Ambulances, police. Leora sits on the curb, wrapped in a blanket, shaking. Darius sits beside her. He tried to kill us, she says numbly. He failed. What now? Now we end him. Leora looks at him. I recorded everything, his confession, the trap, all of it. She holds up her phone. The recording app is still running. Darius smiles through the soot on his face. Then we just won. But in the distance, beyond the lights and sirens, a black SUV watches from the shadows. Then it drives away. Who else is involved? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the final chapters. The cemetery is quiet except for the wind moving through trees. Darius stands in front of Talia's grave with Milo's hand in his. The headstone reads, Talia Rook, beloved wife and mother. He's planning to add another line. Seren Elisabeth Vale, born free, died fighting. Milo sets down the toy rocket. Mom would like this, right? Yeah, buddy, she would. Leora approaches slowly, giving them space. Her face is still bruised from the basement. Her arm is in a sling, but she's alive. She stands beside them, reading the headstone. Can I talk to her? She'd like that. Leora kneels. Her voice is soft. Hi, Seren. It's me, Leora. I know it's been 12 years. I know you probably thought I forgot about you, but I didn't. I never did. Her voice breaks. Darius squeezes Milo's hand. I'm sorry I didn't protect you. Sorry I let her control everything. Sorry I chose safety over fighting for you. Tears run down her face. I found your son. He's beautiful, smart, kind, just like you. Milo watches quietly, processing in the way children do when adults cry. I wanted to ask you something, Leora continues. Darius and we've been spending time together, and I don't know if it's grief or if it's real, but I feel like I could care about him, and I don't know if that's okay, if it's betraying you, if it's wrong. Darius's chest tightens. They haven't talked about this, the way grief has started to shift into something else, the way her presence makes the guest house feel less temporary. He kneels beside her. Talia left me a letter. I didn't tell you everything in it. He pulls the worn paper from his pocket, reads aloud. If something happens to me, don't stay stuck in grief. You deserve to be happy. Milo deserves to see you smile again. Find someone who sees you the way I did, someone who fights for you the way you fought for me. Don't waste your life mourning mine. His voice breaks on the last line. Leora looks at him. She wanted you to move forward. She wanted me to live. He folds the letter, and I think she'd be glad it's with someone who understands what we lost. They sit in silence. The wind carries the scent of fresh earth and old grief. Milo tugs on Darius's sleeve. Dad, is it okay if Aunt Leora stays with us? The words are simple, innocent, but they mean everything. Yeah, buddy, it's okay. Milo smiles, then he looks at the grave. Mom would want us to be happy, right? Right. Then I think it's okay too. He walks to the car, leaving the adults alone. Leora stands, wiping her eyes. I meant what I said, about caring. I know. Darius stands beside her. But we take it slow, for Milo, for us, for her memory. Slow is good. They start to leave when Darius sees him, at the edge of the cemetery, watching. Bren. He stands beside a black SUV, arms crossed, smiling. He's here, Darius says quietly. Leora follows his gaze. Her face hardens. I see him. He's not done. No, but we are. She pulls out her phone. Police are already looking for him. The recording is with the district attorney. His assets are frozen. It's over. Bren raises a hand in mock salute. Then he gets in the SUV and drives away. But as they walk to the car, Darius notices something on the windshield. A note. "This isn't finished. She had something I need, and you're going to help me find it." Leora reads it over his shoulder. What is he talking about? I don't know. Darius thinks of the journal, the safe deposit box. But Talia hid something worth killing for. They drive back to the guest house in silence. Milo falls asleep in the back seat. Leora stares out the window. What if there's more? She asks. Then we find it first. That night, Darius goes through the journal again, page by page, looking for anything he missed. He finds it on the last page, hidden in the binding, a tiny flash drive taped to the inside cover. His hands shake as he pulls it free. Leora, he calls. She appears in the doorway. What is it? I think I found what Bren wants. They plug the drive into a laptop. 3 files. The first is a video. Talia's face fills the screen. If you're watching this, I'm gone, she says. And you need to know the truth. Darius's heart breaks at the sound of her voice. Milo's too. But alive. Real. My mother didn't just control companies. She controlled people. Blackmail. Extortion. Murder. Talia holds up documents. I copied everything before I left. Bank records, emails, proof of bribes and payoffs. Proof that she ordered hits on competitors and whistleblowers. She looks directly at the camera. And Bren Cade helped her do it. He was her apprentice, her protege, the one who got his hands dirty so she could stay clean. The video ends. The second file is spreadsheets, financial records, payments to shell companies, names, dates, amounts. The third is emails, dozens of them, between Celeste Vale and Bren Cade, discussing deals that cross into criminal territory. This is enough to put him away for life, Leora whispers. This is why she died, Darius says. She had proof. And Bren knows it's out there somewhere. Leora looks at him. That's why he won't stop, not until he finds it. Darius ejects the drive. Then we give it to the police, tonight. They make copies, encrypt them, send them to 3 different attorneys and the district attorney's office. By dawn, the news breaks. Vale Industries heir arrested on charges of murder, conspiracy, and racketeering. Bren's face is on every screen, led away in handcuffs. No smile now, just rage. Leora watches from the guest house porch. Darius stands beside her. It's over, she says. Yeah. She's free now, Seren. She doesn't have to hide anymore. Neither do we. They watch the sunrise. Milo joins them, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Are we going home today? He asks. Darius looks at the guest house, at Leora, at the city below. I don't know, buddy. Where is home now? Milo thinks, then points at them. Wherever we're together. Leora smiles through tears. That's a good answer. But in Darius's pocket, his phone buzzes. One last message from an unknown number. Bren wasn't working alone. Watch your back. Is it really over? Subscribe and turn on notifications. The final chapter reveals everything. The courtroom is packed. Reporters, lawyers, faces Darius doesn't recognize, but who all seem to recognize him. He sits in the front row beside Leora. Milo is at school, safe, guarded, unaware that today determines what happens next. The judge enters. Everyone stands. Bren is led in wearing an orange jumpsuit. No tailored suit, no polished shoes, just a man facing consequences. His eyes find Darius. Rage burns there, pure and lethal. The prosecutor stands. Your Honor, we're here for the preliminary hearing in the matter of the state versus Bren Cade. Charges include conspiracy to commit murder, racketeering, obstruction of justice, and attempted murder. The list continues. Each charge is a stone added to a tower that will bury him. Bren's attorney, expensive, slick, tries to argue bail. The prosecutor plays the video. Talia's voice fills the courtroom. Bren Cade helped my mother orchestrate the death of a competitor named Marcus Delgado. He arranged the car accident that was ruled mechanical failure. I have proof. Bank records showing payments made to a mechanic who altered the brakes. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. The prosecutor continues. We also have Mr. Cade's own confession, recorded during his attempted murder of Leora Vale and Darius Rook 3 days ago. They play the audio. Bren's voice, smooth, confident, explaining exactly how he planned to burn them alive and frame it as an accident. The judge's face hardens. Bail denied. The defendant will remain in custody pending trial. Bren explodes. This is a setup. That recording was obtained illegally. It was obtained in self-defense, the prosecutor counters. Ms. Vale was kidnapped, held against her will. Recording her captor's confession is well within legal bounds. The judge bangs the gavel. Order. The defendant will remain silent or be removed. Bren's attorney leans in, whispering urgently. Bren shakes his head, glares at Darius. As they're leading him out, he stops, looks back. You think you've won? You have no idea how deep this goes. Darius doesn't flinch. I know enough. Security drags Bren away. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. Cameras flash. Questions fly like bullets. Mr. Rook, how does it feel to bring your wife's killer to justice? Ms. Vale, will you be seeking custody of your nephew? Is it true you're in a relationship? Leora steps forward. I'll make one statement, then we're done. The crowd quiets. My sister Seren Elisabeth Vale, known to many of you as Talia Rook, was murdered because she tried to expose corruption in my family's business. She was brave, she was kind, and she deserved better than what happened to her. Her voice doesn't waver. Today marks the beginning of justice, not just for her, but for everyone my mother and Bren Cade harmed. I'm working with federal investigators to review every transaction, every deal, every decision made under their leadership. If crimes were committed, those responsible will be held accountable. A reporter shouts, "What about your nephew? Will he inherit the Vale fortune?" Milo will inherit what matters: love, family, truth. Leora looks at Darius. His father and I will make sure of that. They leave through a side exit. Security clears the path. In the car, Leora exhales for what feels like the first time in days. It's really over. Not yet, Darius says. He shows her his phone. The message from last night. Bren wasn't working alone. Who else could there be? I don't know, but we're going to find out. They drive to the main house. Marisol is waiting. She looks older than she did a month ago. Tired, but her eyes are clear. I heard, she says, about Bren, about the trial. Did you know, Darius asks, that he was involved? Marisol sits slowly. I suspected, but I had no proof, and speaking against the Vales, she shakes her head. People who do that disappear. Not anymore, Leora says. My mother is dead. Bren is arrested. You're safe now. Marisol looks at her. Are you sure? What do you mean? There were others. People your mother trusted. People who benefited from her methods. She pulls out a folded piece of paper. I kept names, just in case. The list has 6 names. Lawyers, business partners, a city councilman. These people knew, Marisol says. Some helped, some just looked away. But they're all complicit. Darius photographs the list. We'll give this to investigators. Be careful, Marisol warns. Powerful people protect each other. Over the next 2 weeks, the dominoes fall. One by one, the people on Marisol's list are questioned. Some cooperate, some lawyer up, 2 flee the country. But the evidence is overwhelming. The flash drive Talia left behind contains more than anyone realized. Years of documentation. Enough to dismantle an empire built on blood. Leora works 16-hour days with prosecutors. Darius balances his job with being a father and trying to figure out what normal looks like now. Milo adjusts better than expected. He spends weekends at the main house, learning about his mother's real family. Leora teaches him about constellations. Marisol bakes him cookies. One night, Darius finds Milo looking at the portrait of Talia in the hallway. "She looks happy," Milo says. She was. "Do you think she'd like how things turned out?" Darius kneels beside him. "I think she'd be proud. Of you. Of us. Of the fact that the truth finally came out. I miss her." "Me too, buddy." They stand there together, father and son. Grief and healing occupying the same space. Leora joins them. She doesn't say anything, just stands on Milo's other side. "Are you guys dating?" Milo asks suddenly. Adults glance at each other. "Kind of," Darius says carefully. "Good. I like her." Milo yawns. "Can we have pancakes tomorrow?" "Yeah, midnight pancakes, like always." "Can Aunt Leora help?" "If she wants." Leora smiles. "I'd love to." 3 months later, the trial concludes. Bren is convicted on all counts. Life in prison without parole. The judge reads the sentence. Bren doesn't react, just stares straight ahead. Afterward, Darius and Leora visit Talia's grave. They've added the new line. Seren Elisabeth Vale. Born free, died fighting, remembered always. "We did it," Leora whispers. "She's vindicated." "Yeah. What now?" Darius thinks. About his janitor job, about the guest house, about the strange life they've built from tragedy. "Now we figure out how to be a family." Leora takes his hand. "I'd like that." They walk back to the car where Milo waits, reading a book about black holes. "Did you tell her?" he asks. "Tell her what?" Darius responds. "That we're moving, that you got the new job." Leora looks surprised. "What new job?" Darius smiles. "Vale Industries offered me a position, building maintenance supervisor. Better pay, better hours, actual benefits." "You're taking it?" "If it doesn't feel weird working for my girlfriend's company." "Girlfriend?" Leora's smile is bright, genuine. "Is that what we're calling this?" "Unless you have a better word." She kisses him, quick, soft, the first real one. Milo makes a disgusted sound. "Gross." They laugh, all 3 of them. The kind of laughter that comes after surviving something unsurvivable. As they drive away, Darius's phone buzzes. One final message. Unknown number. He almost deletes it, then reads it. She had another file. The one that implicates the real players. Good luck finding it before they find you. Darius stares at the message, then at Leora, at Milo. He deletes it. Whatever Talia left behind, whatever final secrets exist, they can wait. Because right now, he has something more important. A son who's smiling. A woman who sees him. A future that isn't defined by survival. And in the rearview mirror, as the cemetery fades from view, he swears he sees her. Talia. Just for a second. Smiling. Then she's gone. Thank you for following Darius's story. If it moved you, inspired you, or made you think, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change your perspective. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Share this story if you believe in fighting for truth, protecting family, and never giving up on justice. Until next time, stay strong and keep believing in second chances.